So it's going to be a long night. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm about to start editing, and I have a bottle of vodka with me. So I'm drinking, I'm recording, listening to music, I'm editing, and I just want to take you guys through my editing process while ranting about random stuff. If that will be a thing to continue, I'm trying it for the first time and seeing how it goes. So, basically, my retouching process starts from taking off spots and blemishes, the normal stuff. And I'm using my spot healing brush tool because I'm being a lazy ass today. So we'll start. You should know the drill. I hope if you're watching this, you're not a starter. And right now, I'm listening to a song from Beyonce, and we're going to move into talking about music generally and random stuff. As it pops into my head, I'm just going to talk about it. So, unfortunately, you can't hear what I'm listening to because the first video I put up had background music. Not really background music, but I was listening to music on the speaker and the laptop was picking it up. But for some reason, YouTube decided or felt I was infringing copyright. So I don't know how their software works, but for some one way or the other, they took out the background music, and the only thing you could hear from the video was me talking about my retouching process. That being said, occasionally you hear me sing along if it's a song I really really love, and yeah, let's walk through it. So I'm a really lazy retoucher. I hope you don't see that in this video, but I don't go this deep. I don't even zoom in this far to take out blemishes. I just take out the obvious ones from like a more zoomed out image, and I just edit. Try to make sure the others don't show while doing my frequency separation. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to speed things up. Juba, 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 juba. So what do we talk about? I have a lot of things that is in my mind that I'd love to talk about, but at the same time I can't have you watch a full retouching video while talking about random stuff that you don't really care about, because I'm sure if you're watching this video, it's more about you learning how to retouch. And yeah, I've been I've been seeing a couple of memes lately. I've been stumbling on photography memes and stuff, and basically where I'm going with this is I'm one of those. I feel all photographers do this. By this I mean when we're putting out tutorials, everybody goes, "Oh, name this channel." Ignore the notification you just saw. So everybody goes like, name this channel this, do this, duplicate this, blah blah blah. But I feel when everybody's actually retouching, unless you're retouching professionally for someone that might need the PSD file, I don't think anybody actually ever has the time to, label every layer and do all that stuff. Man's just trying to get to work and come out with a decent image. That's just all I'm trying to do. So I'm looking around at body now to see if there's any other thing I'm going to take off. These glitters are way too much. I'm really not in the mood to start putting out every single glitter. So at some point I'll stop and just leave the rest. It's part of the image, it's part of the things I shot. And yeah, and I love to keep my images as natural as possible, which has drifted us into the natural topic. So keeping images as natural as possible while doing as much as you can to still make it look decent. I think at this point I'm done with my, what's it called, blemish removal, and I'm moving to what's it called now, my frequency separation. So when you're watching frequency separation videos, they tell you, oh, check this frequency out, try this frequency out. This is what the number of your Gaussian blush should be. This is what your blah 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 blah. But me, for one, I just always try to work with whatever I feel works best for the image. So I'm steady playing around till I find a number that works. I go as low as 2, sometimes I go as high as 16. Sometimes they tell you normally to stay within 12 and 14 or 10 and 14, but most of the time I go lower. First things first, the reason why I go lower is, like I said earlier, I am a very lazy retoucher. So I still leave a few blemishes in the skin, and trying to take it off means I have to do it in my color layer during the frequency separation, and for that I just have to go lower to include more texture in my color layer, so the blemishes are there and I can take it off. So I really wish you could hear what I'm listening to. If not for copyright issues, you'd be hearing it now. But I think one of the first things, oh yeah, before we talk about music, what was I going to say? Yes, for my frequency separation, I use an action, because ain't nobody got time for going the long route. So I'm using mixer brush to blend the skin tones, as you can see, and my values are always between 12 and 15. Also here between 12 and 15. For some reason I don't really care about these two, because I've not really seen the results, the impact they have in the final image, so I don't pay that much attention to that. I just, ignore it. Whatever number it's on, I don't care. And I'm listening, oh, I'm a Yoruba boy, I'm from Nigeria, and I've heard a lot of you people say, you classify us as Africans, which we are. We're not in any way denying that, but for some reason we're more into ethnicity and culture and whatnot. So me saying I'm a Yoruba boy, I mean I'm a Nigerian first, but from the Yoruba tribe of Nigeria. And that being said, I'm listening to this song from Beyonce. I think the title is Other Side, from her latest album. And the other person, the African language you can hear there is Yoruba, and it's a little bit on the gospel side, because Oluwa means God or Almighty or something, whatever. So I can really relate to it, and it makes it way more beautiful that we can have two genres or two different cultures blend so beautifully. And that has been some of my new interest in music now. I also got this song, Mumford and Sons, and some South African artists that I've fallen in love with in the past few days. I've always been a Mumford and Sons fan. By always, I mean in the last 4 or 5 years, because I just discovered their music not too long ago. But since I discovered it, I've loved it, and I was streaming and decided to just jump on my Deezer and go to their page and just play their music on random, and I stumbled on that song and straight up went into my favorite. That being said, I find music really beautiful. I think before photography, I'm a huge lover of arts generally, but I think music has a really soft spot in my heart. Like music has me every time. So if I wasn't a photographer or if I had a good voice, I'd probably be a musician. A part of me feels I have I'll make it as a musician if not for the terrible voice, and I can't rap for shit. So um what am I saying? Let me check where I started from. Okay. So we're entering the what's it called, transition blending phase of the frequency separation. And like I said, I love to keep it natural. I don't like when my images look overly edited. And so let's talk about how I took this picture. I am more of a, what's it called, DIY. I I never really have a plan when I'm shooting. Not like I don't have a plan, but I feel everything comes together to give you a great image. I'll put a link to my Instagram page in case you want to check my works out. Um, One thing I've always loved is documentary photography. I love the fact that most of them are candids. By candids, I mean you don't set the pace. The what's it called? The earth, the world, the I've forgotten the word, but like life just sets the stage for you, and life makes the art for you, and all you do is capture the beauty life is creating at the time, which I find really nice, that you're making pure art that is not overly influenced by you, or you setting it up the way you want it to look like. It's already set up, you have to take it naturally. And as a portrait photographer, I always try to sort of put that into my art too. By that I mean, anytime I'm shooting, I try to keep the images as natural as possible. And because of that, I use lights, but I prefer using natural light when I'm shooting. Oh fuck, that's I don't think that's the way to go. Oh, I was fucking with my frequency layer. Be what's it called, my texture layer once again. So um what was I saying? Okay, talking about the, what's it called, the photo shoot. A friend reached out, a friend that is a makeup artist reached out and said we should collaborate, on this shoot. And she brought in the models, blah blah blah. A little digression. Let's talk about how, I don't know if this happens in every part of the world, but one thing I find really annoying, which is not anybody's fault, but I'm pretty impatient, and that makes me find it really annoying that you have a shoot coming up and you tell the photographer, oh, the shoot is for 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. or 8 a.m. or whatever time is convenient for you. And then I love, there's this notion of African time, like Africans are always late and blah blah blah. I really don't like it. I love being on time, and being punctual mixed with my impatience means having to sit through 1-2 hours of the makeup artist working on a model's face while I just sit and do nothing can be really really irritating for me. Back to the shoot. So a friend reached out and we got to the location of the shoot, and she started makeup. And there's this thing, Nigerian makeup artists, I don't know if it's all over the world, but I know for a fact that there's this halogen tungsten bulb that's really really hot, and the color temperature is insane, like insane. It's like really really warm. So the makeup artist, I'll probably put a link to our work on the description of the video too, so you can check her out. Her name is Julia. She brought it out and was using it to like take phone pictures of the models after the shoot. And I set up my normal, like, you know, I had an octa box and a strobe and blah blah blah, but for some reason I didn't go with a reasonable backdrop. I went with a blue backdrop, and I wasn't feeling the backdrop at the time, so I pulled it off and decided to use our wall. And luckily our wall is white and still clean, so I used our wall, but I still wasn't really enjoying the, what's it called, the result I was getting from the strobe I had. It was normal AD 600 blah 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 blah, but I saw the tungsten halogen light thingy, and I really liked the warmth and light bulb moment. Why not just use the bulb, the tungsten, to light the image instead of, you know, always trying to stick to the script and using strobes and blah blah blah. And so I decided to switch to the tungsten light, and trust me, I've dropped it like 1,000 Kelvin. Am I right? No, not 1,000, close to 1,000 actually. I've dropped it like 700-800 Kelvin, or even if not up to 1,000, for it to get to this level, and you can still see the warmth in the skin that is giving it this golden glow, which I really love. So yeah, at this point I'm feeling pretty confident with what I've done. I still have a lot more work to do, but for reference sakes, before and after, and yeah, she looks beautiful. So what else? Let's see. I'll probably merge my layers now. Command Alt Shift E, that's my shortcut. I don't know any other way to it. Like I said, man's a lazy man, so I can't be going through the long process. And after that, her tummy is bulging out a bit here. She's not, she's actually really slim and fit, so I think it was the way she sat, but I have to find a way to make it look a little better. So we're going to liquefy a little bit without messing with the hand or what the hand looks like. So as you can see now, it's a little rough, which I'm going to obviously smoothen out as I continue. This is just by trying to make sure it doesn't affect the arms too much. Oh, pardon the swear word, I swear quite a lot, but we're working on it. We're trying to make it better. Wish I had no expectations. So let's see how far we've gone. Yeah, I think it's flat enough without looking too artificial. So I'm just going to go in now and smoothing it out. Wish I had known. So yeah, I said we were going to talk about other random things. There's really nothing to talk about today. I'm here drinking a little bit, and I felt, instead of boring you guys with too much Photoshop jargons, let's just move around. Oh yeah, so total digression from photography. Recently there's been this issue with Nigerians and scam, internet fraud, and blah blah blah. And first things first, I won't deny the existence of fraudsters. There are a lot of them in Nigeria, But I was talking with friends, and to be sincere, it's I won't blame the people that generalize, but at the same time it's annoying. It's really annoying that 1% or maximum of 2% of people that have chosen to do their own part to destroy the reputation of people in this country are actually succeeding. And damn, this image is actually really nice in black and white, which means there's going to be a black and white version. Back to internet fraud. We call it Yao Yao in Nigeria. I don't know if you guys know about that. So it's really annoying that there are more Nigerians that do legit work and are really hardworking, but we have just a very very few of us that are painting us black all over the world. And I have friends outside the country, say some mostly Europe, and they talk about how what those people do has affected how they are being viewed generally outside the country, which is really annoying. So I thought I should put this in to let you guys know that yes, it's obviously you want to be more secure and you're more apprehensive working with a Nigerian, but you should understand that not everybody does that. As much as you should stay safe and keep yourself and be more alert, I feel you should also give people a benefit of the doubt to understand that not everybody does what these bad people do, and the other people are really fighting hard to make a living. And it's hard when you're doing that and you have people judging you based on the actions of a few people. Thank you for coming to my TED talk. Back to retouching. What have I done? I'm trying to whiten her eyes so the warmth doesn't make her look too sickly, and her teeth, so that the warm golden tone only applies to her skin and not parts that are supposed to be white. Basic stuff. At this point I'm good. Like I said, I try to keep my images as natural as possible, so I don't think I want to go past here. Let's see what we have. Yeah, you like what you see, bar. I like what I see. Let's see if there's any other thing. So when I get to this level, I still try to play around a little bit with the image to see if there's any corrections. First thing I do is visit my levels to add a little bit more contrast. It just makes the image pop more. Then let's see. Yeah. Then from there, maybe go to my lots and crisp winter. That is not for the skin. I'm going to still blend. I'm trying to take off. Damn, it's nice actually. But I'm just trying to add a little more blues to the background, and since the background is white, it should what's it called? It should for you. I really don't know what to say again. That's why I drifted into singing. But in a heartbeat, I will find a love for you. Damn. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And you married us, so I come back and lay. If you ever need me to smile, I can be your reason. You think So I think at this level I'm just done, so I don't waste you people's time. And thanks for listening to my really boring gist. Thank you very much.